recognizing that, yeah, so the transformation rituals didn't make sense when I was in a steady state. And the steady state rituals don't necessarily help me with the transformation. So what I did was a universal ritual, and I just do 10 minutes. It's not complicated. I sit for 10 minutes. I hydrate because the brain has gone without, or the system has gone without water for 6, 7, 8 hours. And the brain uses 80% of our resting metabolism. So the brain needs the nutrients, and the nutrients are carried by the blood. And if you've ever gone to give blood, you might hear the phlebotomist say, "Oh, wow, your blood's really thick today. You need to drink some more water." Something like that, right? Because the blood gets thick that quick. You can see the changes in the blood just by drinking a liter or two of water before you go give blood, and you'll see that there's that quickly there is a difference. So if nutrients are carried to the brain by the blood, and the blood is thick, and thick liquids move more slowly than thin liquids, you can connect the dots that, oh, this is why I need to drink water. We know we need to drink water, but now I'm putting into perspective why I hydrate in that first 10 minutes. The second thing I do in that 10 minutes is I breathe. I do a 10 minutes, 13 counts in, 13 counts out. And why 13? It was random. I also will sometimes do 20 counts in, and I use a watch. So on the watch, it has a meditate app, and it just counts for me. It buzzes for me, so I don't have to pay attention to that. And then what I'm doing is I'm using that time to do some of what I'll talk about in step 2, which is implementation intentions. And the implementation intentions is how we prime ourselves. But also by doing those long breaths, 13 counts in, 13 counts out, if the conditioned response happens in a quarter of a second, conditioned reaction happens in a quarter of a second, by taking those breaths anytime during the day, I can instantly put a pause over this. So I feel myself being reactive, I just take in a breath. Just start breathing in or breathing out. And I don't have to go the whole 13, because in a quarter of a second, I've already eclipsed the conditioned reaction phase. But that, by doing it every single day, I've made an association that long breaths are associated with being calm. So I can calm myself instantly, anywhere, anytime, which is why I say I don't experience anxiety, because even if I thought about the idea of anxiety, I'm going to just take in a breath and allow that to neutralize itself out. So that ritual in the morning, it works for all 3 of these. Neuroplasticity, because I can set my habits with implementation intentions, as well as working on the habits I want. So essentially, I can practice the behaviors, the responses that I want, and even the reactions that I want. I can practice them in a calm environment. And that's how I'm creating new associations, and neurons that wire together fire together.